Atlantic reporter Jeffrey Goldberg finds himself in the middle of a group chat on Signal with 18 Trump officials, and they're discussing matters of national intelligence. This is wild, wild stuff. My name is Brandon Fogal. This is Evolution. Let's get into it. So have you ever found yourself in a place that you're like, am I really supposed to be here? I'm not really supposed to be here. I immediately go to Black Sheep with Chris Farley, and he finds himself on stage for his brother's campaign, who's running for governor. He's like, I'm not really supposed to be here. And then he just goes off the rails and he ends up saying, kill Whitey. And like everybody, no. This is almost to that level. This is almost to that level. How do you find yourself in the middle of a group chat with top government officials and you're a reporter? Did something happen? Did the NSA kind of sneak them in there? Or there's still some levels in the deep state that are behind the scenes trying to just mess up this administration? Or was this a blunder by the Trump officials by doing this? Were they just not careful? I mean, we've all been there. You're like, why am I a part of this chat? Why am I a part of this chat? Your phone's just going off the roof. Notification, bing, 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 bing. Take me out of this chat, please. We've all been there. We know what it's like. So it's like, why didn't he say something, I'm not really supposed to be here, guys. I am a reporter. I mean, it could have been just a regular guy. So either a blunder by the Trump officials or something else was working. He claims complete, he had nothing to do with it. He doesn't even know how to work his phone. He doesn't know how to do a lot of things. He doesn't know how to take a screenshot on his phone or anything like that. So he couldn't have done it. But doesn't mean that other people couldn't have done something. Everybody is always trying to trip them up. But either way, it's wild nonetheless. There's either a screw up on one side or there's some nefarious working that is happening that is trying to thwart this administration at every turn. Let's take a look at this is a report from CBS News. You can see on the screen. This is Jeffrey Goldberg. So I'd never heard of him until this event that just happened. So you can see his face. There he is. And you should check out the whole video. You can go to CBS News and it's all over the internet. It's on the app called Signal. I don't use Signal myself, but it's not a secure chat, and it's like, so now the argument is, were they doing something wrong? Was this a mistake? And they're talking about like bombing Yemen. And after these Houthi rebels, you can pronounce it Houthi and the Blowfish, these Houthi rebels, and they're throwing emojis out there that they just drop some bombs. They're like, we don't want to step in and save Europe's butt again, and it's Pete Hegseth, it's VP Vance, John Ratcliffe, and even like Vance is saying crazy things. I can understand why they're talking like this. This is just how regular people talk, but they're talking about national security, sending bombs just to step in and save someone's butt. And the phrasing that they use is just wild, just things you would say in a text message, but they're not doing it on a secure line. And then this reporter finds himself just front and center. He thinks it's a joke at first. He says he does. I don't know. I would give him the benefit of the doubt. I think but he didn't voice anything. He didn't say anything. He's just watching it happen. And that he came forward with this is kind of a weird deal in itself. And he says he's doing it because that Trump is saying that it was nothing. There was no top secret information that was happening. Whereas they had to redact. Not everything was revealed and put out there. There was redacted information. Then not everything got put out there. So we got J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth. What else we got? John Ratcliffe. There's a lot of different people that are on this message. It's like, but they don't know. I mean, why couldn't we have done this through email? But I mean, they got to talk through something. Maybe I think these guys, they expect the people that are the administration people underneath them would kind of secure this. They're just stepping in it and they're having conversation, maybe not doing their due diligence of everything. Who's on this chat? We need to make sure we got every name. But it's like, why don't they got a little check mark or something that validates every person on there? I don't know. It's just a whole weird situation, but like it's just absolutely wild. But I think from both ends, the reporter needs to say something immediately. Like, I'm in this chat, guys. Do you understand? So it's like remove some culpability there, but then also it was a blunder. If they did screw this up, they have said that we did not do anything wrong. They're standing by that position. They're not saying, oh, we screwed up right here and just taking it from there. I think is because that they know what the other side would do, and it's just the double standard. So it's hard to take these things seriously when we're like so upset about this top secret clearance kind of issue, but when Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and it's like whatever team you're on, it's all about teams. So it's like you can't give the other side an inch because they'll just tear you to pieces, where they don't hold their own side accountable. So it's ridiculous from both ends, but it's hilarious in a huge sense. So it's absolutely wild that this happened, but it's human fallibility. People are not perfect. Our politicians aren't perfect. J.D. Vance isn't perfect. The people that are in our government aren't perfect. So should they have said, we screwed up, we made a blunder? Or should they have a hard stance? No, we did nothing wrong. Nothing to see here. There's nothing. Is that going to get them in more hot water by that? I don't think they should show any weakness. They shouldn't say, "Oh, we screwed up here." Because do you think that the Dems, the left, is going to stop? They're going to try to, and it's that double standard that they wouldn't hold their own side to. So I think that, my opinion, they screwed up. They screwed up by allowing this to happen. But I don't think they screwed up by they don't need to just say we did something wrong. They need to have that hard stance and just correct it on their side. But we all know that they might have screwed up, unless there is something underneath the surface, some person pulling the strings in that deep state that is doing something here. So there could be that as well. So I'm not going to discount that. I just watched a video just a little bit ago of a couple years ago with Tucker Carlson in his personal group chat, in his chat that he's messaging back and forth. The NSA is watching. They're always watching. And he's like, what the heck? If we don't have privacy, if we don't have freedom of thought and privacy, we don't have freedom. And this is where I get into the new age, the new generation. We come to expect. And I mean, and really the up and coming new youngins, and even my generation, I don't really care that all my information is out there. I don't really care that the government is listening. I don't really care that we're being watched every second, and the only privacy we have is inside of our head anymore. But the older generation, that was their firm stance. We cannot have this. You need to be able to have privacy. You can't be expected to just bend over and let the government just have everything at you. That they just have all free reign, and they can just watch you. They can listen to you, everything. There's no freedom in that privacy. It's just this balance now. Like, maybe the earlier generation had it right. Maybe we shouldn't give an inch. But I think it's just where everything in the youngins, especially the new ones, everything is out there. You post everything because you want everybody to watch. So it's like, who cares if the government's watching? We're putting everything out there anyways. So it's this complete flip. So I don't know, is that a bad direction? Is that a good direction? Is that neutral? Does it matter? I have my opinion. I don't really care I just take it for granted that the government's always watching. It doesn't, but I can understand why that's a bad deal, and we probably shouldn't just do that. I think it's just, we are frogs just heated up in a pot, and we're just there now. We're burning alive, but we had no idea. And they've just done this slow burn, and we're just whatever, and this is all the new kids on the block know these days. This is all they know. So that's just the way it is. But so you find yourself in a group chat. What are you going to do? Are you going to be like Jeffrey Goldblum and just wait it out and watch them talk about that they're going to send some bombs, and then it happens, and then you're just like, oh my gosh. And then a couple weeks later, you come out and say, hey, I actually saw this. I'm releasing the transcript and all that. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? There's a lot of gray in there. There's a lot of undisclosed information. I think more stuff is going to come out because this is the news cycle. This is what the left wants to talk about. They got some news. They got something they're going to try to pin on Trump, pin on his administration. Trump and the guys, they're doing the right thing. Don't give them an inch. They might be in the right completely. They might not have done anything wrong, but maybe talk about these things in a more secure manner. So what do you all think? Keep evolving to become the greatest person that you know you can become.